Train your mind to win. Master mental strength in every situation. Written and published by Echo Tales. Introduction. Train your mind to win. Winning begins long before the race starts. It begins in the mind, and that is why you are here. You want strength. You want clarity. You want control over the thoughts that guide your life. This book will help you build that power step by step. Mental strength is not about being perfect. It is about being prepared. It is the skill of choosing your response, instead of reacting on impulse. It is the ability to stay steady when life becomes loud. It is the courage to keep moving forward when doubt tries to pull you back. In every situation you carry a choice. You can follow your old patterns, or you can rise to a new level of thinking. This book is designed to help you make that choice with confidence. What you are about to hear is a practical guide. Clear, simple, actionable. Each chapter will show you how to strengthen your awareness, sharpen your focus, and control your inner voice. You will learn how to build discipline, shape habits, and stay resilient when life tests you. You will also learn how to manage pressure, grow from setbacks, and see challenges through a new lens. You will train your mind, the same way you train your body, through intention, through repetition, through belief in who you are becoming. The goal of this book is not to inspire you for a moment. The goal is to transform how you think every day, to give you tools you can use in real situations, at work, at home, in moments of stress, in moments of opportunity. This is your journey toward mental mastery, a journey that begins with a single decision, the decision to take control of your mind instead of letting the world control it for you. So take a breath, get centered, and step into this training with an open mind, because once you change the way you think, you change the way you live. Welcome to Train Your Mind to Win. Your transformation starts now. Chapter 1. The Power of Awareness. Every form of change begins with one step: awareness. You cannot strengthen what you cannot see. You cannot direct what you do not understand. Awareness is the skill that turns scattered thoughts into clear choices. It is the foundation of mental strength, and it shapes how you experience every moment of your life. Think of awareness as the light in a dark room. When the light is off, you move slowly, you reach out, you hope you do not bump into something, you guess your way forward. But when the light turns on, everything becomes clear. You see what is in front of you. You see what you need to avoid. You see where you want to go. Awareness brings that same clarity to your inner world. Many people live on autopilot. They react without thinking. They repeat the same thoughts, the same habits, and the same emotions day after day, not because they want to, but because they are unaware of the patterns that shape their lives. Awareness breaks that cycle. It allows you to pause, observe, and choose a better response. Imagine a person stuck in traffic. Their stress rises. Their shoulders tighten. They feel angry at the cars, the noise, and the slow movement. This is the moment awareness becomes a superpower. Instead of reacting with frustration, they can pause and observe their thoughts. They can notice the rise of tension. They can choose to breathe. They can choose a calm response. The situation stays the same, but their mind becomes stronger. This is the power of awareness in real life. It turns everyday events into training sessions for your mind. Awareness is not judgment. It is not blame. It is not criticism. Awareness is simple observation. It allows you to notice your inner world without attacking yourself. When you develop this skill, you become more patient, more confident, and more in control of your reactions. There is another story that illustrates this. A young athlete trained for years but struggled during competitions. He felt pressure. He rushed his movements. He doubted himself in critical moments. His coach noticed the pattern. He told him to pay attention to his thoughts before each match. At first the athlete did not understand. He believed the problem was physical. But over time, he began to notice that his real challenge was not lack of skill. It was the silent voice of doubt that appeared when the crowd grew loud. Once he became aware of that voice, he could address it. He could breathe. He could reset. His performance improved. Not because he trained harder, but because he became more aware. Awareness gave him power that talent alone could not. Awareness also helps you catch the small moments that shape your day. Moments when you are distracted. Moments when you avoid a task. Moments when fear whispers in your ear. When you notice these moments, you gain the ability to redirect your focus. You can choose strength instead of habit. You can choose progress instead of delay. Awareness is also the doorway to emotional intelligence. When you know what you feel and why you feel it, you gain control over your emotional world. You stop letting stress, anger, or fear push you in random directions. Instead, you guide yourself with intention. So how do you train awareness? You start with small daily practices. You pause during your day for a brief moment. You check in with your thoughts. You ask yourself simple questions. What am I feeling right now? Why am I reacting this way? What do I actually want to do next? These questions turn your attention inward. They train your mind to observe before reacting. Even 30 seconds of awareness can change the direction of your entire day. Another way to strengthen awareness is through mindful presence. This means giving full attention to one task at a time. When you speak with someone, you listen fully. When you work on a project, you stay focused. When you rest, you allow yourself to rest without guilt. Single tasking sharpens your mind. It reduces mental noise. It strengthens the connection between your thoughts and your actions. Awareness is not something you master in one day. It is a lifelong practice. But each day you grow a little stronger. Each day you gain more clarity. Each day you move closer to the person you want to become. The power of awareness is not about perfection. It is about presence. It is about choosing to see your thoughts instead of being controlled by them. It is about giving yourself the chance to make better decisions, even in difficult moments. As you build this skill, you will notice a shift. You will feel more grounded. You will respond instead of react. You will handle challenges with greater confidence. This is the first step in training your mind to win. Clarity brings power, and awareness gives you that clarity. In the next chapter, you will explore the voice within your mind. You will learn how self-talk shapes your confidence, your emotions, and your decisions. But before we move forward, remember this: awareness is your foundation. It is the light that guides every other mental skill you will learn. Once you master awareness, you begin to master your life. Chapter 2. The voice within. There is a voice inside your mind that speaks every day. It speaks when you wake up. It speaks when you face challenges. It speaks when no one else is watching. This inner voice is powerful. It can push you forward, or it can hold you back. It can lift your confidence, or it can quietly weaken it. Understanding this voice is one of the most important steps in training your mind to win. Your inner voice shapes your beliefs. It shapes the meaning you give to your experiences. It shapes your identity and your expectations for the future. The voice within is not just a stream of thoughts. It is the narrator of your life, and the way it speaks to you determines how you feel and how you act. For many people, this voice goes unnoticed. It runs in the background like a quiet soundtrack, sometimes supportive, sometimes harsh, sometimes full of doubt. But when you learn to pay attention to it, you uncover a hidden source of strength. You discover how much of your life is influenced by the tone and direction of your self-talk. Consider a simple situation. You are about to start a new task. Before you begin, a thought appears. It says, "You might fail," or it says, "Just try your best," or it says, "You can do this." These are only words, yet they change everything about the moment. They change how you feel. They change how much energy you bring. They change whether you step forward with courage or with hesitation. One sentence can shift your entire mindset. Here is a real-world example. A woman prepared for an important presentation at work. She studied the material. She practiced her delivery. She had the skills she needed. But as the day approached, her inner voice whispered, "You are not ready." Those 4 words slowed her confidence. They created tension in her chest. They made her question her own preparation. But then she remembered something she had learned before. She paused. She noticed the voice. She spoke back to it with intention. She said, "I am prepared. I am capable. I can do this." Her energy changed. Her posture shifted. The voice within became an ally instead of an enemy. Her presentation went smoothly, not because the fear disappeared, but because she changed the voice guiding her through the moment. This is the power of self-talk. Your inner voice becomes your coach, your mentor, and your guide. It becomes the force that steadies you when life becomes intense, but only if you learn to shape it with purpose. The first step is awareness. You must recognize the tone of your inner voice. Is it supportive or is it critical? Does it speak with encouragement or with worry? Does it help you grow, or does it keep you small? Many people are surprised when they truly listen. They realize they speak to themselves in ways they would never speak to a friend. This awareness creates the opportunity for change. The second step is intentional language. Your inner voice listens to the words you repeat. If you repeat doubt, you strengthen doubt. If you repeat strength, you strengthen strength. Simple phrases can transform your mindset. Phrases like, "I can handle this," or "I am learning," or "I will take this one step at a time." These small shifts create powerful results because they change how your mind and body respond to challenges. You do not need dramatic statements. You do not need to force unrealistic thoughts. You only need calm, supportive, and honest self-talk. The goal is to guide your mind gently toward clarity and confidence. The third step is consistency. Your inner voice changes through daily repetition. When you speak to yourself with strength day after day, your mind adapts. It learns a new language. It builds new patterns. Over time, this becomes automatic. Supportive self-talk becomes your new normal. It becomes the stable rhythm that carries you through difficult moments. Here is another example. A student struggled with focus while studying. Every time he sat down to work, the voice in his mind said, "This is too hard." That single sentence drained his motivation. He avoided tasks. He procrastinated. He felt frustrated with himself. One day he decided to change his inner voice. He replaced the old sentence with a new one. "This may be challenging, but I can take it one page at a time." The shift was small, yet it made a difference. He no longer felt overwhelmed. He felt calm. He felt capable. Progress began to build. His inner voice became a partner instead of a barrier. Your task is the same. You must train the voice within to speak with steadiness, truth, and encouragement. Not with lies, not with empty positivity, but with guidance that helps you move forward with confidence. When your inner voice becomes strong, you become strong. You think with clarity. You act with purpose. You recover from setbacks more quickly. You stop fighting against yourself and begin working with yourself. This is one of the greatest forms of mental strength. As you move through this book, you will learn how to combine awareness, self-talk, discipline and emotional control. But remember this: your inner voice is the constant companion in every chapter of your life. When you master it, you guide your future with intention. In the next chapter, you will explore the strength of focus. You will learn how attention shapes your results and how a trained mind can stay centered even in a noisy world. But for now, keep one truth close. The voice within is the most influential voice you will ever hear. Train it well, and it will lead you toward the life you want. Chapter 3. The Strength of Focus. Focus is one of the most powerful tools of the human mind. When you direct your attention with intention, you unlock strength that most people never use. Focus sharpens your actions. It calms your emotions. It gives your goals a clear path to follow. Without focus, even great effort becomes scattered. With focus, even small steps create meaningful progress. Think of focus as the lens of a camera. When the lens is blurred, the picture loses clarity. You see shapes but not details. You see movement, but not direction. But when the lens is sharp, everything becomes crisp and defined. The same thing happens in your mind. When your focus is unclear, you feel distracted, overwhelmed and uncertain. When your focus is sharp, you feel steady, confident and engaged. We live in a world full of noise. Notifications buzz. Thoughts compete for attention. Tasks pile up. People move quickly from one thing to another, without giving their full energy to any of it. This constant noise weakens the mind. It divides your attention and pulls you away from what truly matters. Training your focus is how you rise above the noise. Here is a simple story. A young designer worked in a busy studio. Every day she sat at her desk with a list of things to finish, but she constantly switched between tasks. She checked messages. She scrolled through updates. She opened new tabs she did not need. By the end of the day, she felt exhausted, but not productive. One afternoon her mentor approached her and said, "You are working hard, but your mind is scattered. Try giving one task your full attention for just 30 minutes. She tried it the next day. No switching, no checking, just one task. The results surprised her. She finished more work in those 30 minutes than she usually completed in 2 hours. Her energy felt lighter. Her stress dropped. For the first time in a long time, she felt fully present. This simple shift revealed something powerful. The strength of focus is often hidden under layers of distraction. To strengthen your focus, the first step is presence. Presence means giving your full attention to what is in front of you, not half your mind, not a portion of your energy, your full presence. When you are present, your mind stops jumping between past worries and future outcomes. It stays here, in this moment, where your actions actually create results. The second step is prioritization. Not everything deserves your focus. Some tasks drain your energy without creating progress. Some problems distract you from your goals. Some demands on your time are simply noise. To build strong focus, you must decide what truly matters. Ask yourself simple questions. What is the most important thing I can do right now? What task will move me forward? What can wait for later? These questions act like a filter. They separate what is essential from what is unnecessary. The third step is single tasking. Many people believe multitasking is a strength. But true productivity comes from doing one thing with depth, instead of several things with half of your attention. Single tasking strengthens the mind. It reduces stress. It allows you to complete your work with greater accuracy and creativity. When you train yourself to focus on one task at a time, you build discipline and mental clarity. Here is another example. A runner trained for a long-distance race. During his early runs, his mind wandered constantly. He thought about his schedule. He thought about unrelated problems. He thought about how far he still had to go. His body grew tired because his mind was scattered. One day, his coach gave him simple advice. Focus only on the next step. Not the entire race. Just the next step. The runner tried it during his next session. He repeated the thought. One step. One breath. Something changed. His pace improved. His breathing steadied. He finished the run with more strength and less struggle. By narrowing his focus, he expanded his capacity. This is the paradox of focus. When you reduce the noise, you increase your power. The fourth step is creating focus rituals. These are small habits that signal your mind to shift into a centered state. It may be clearing your workspace. It may be taking a slow breath before starting a task. It may be setting a timer to stay committed for a specific period of time. These rituals create a rhythm for the mind. They make it easier to enter a state of deep concentration. Focus also affects your emotional world. When your mind is scattered, emotions feel stronger and harder to control. Distraction amplifies stress. But when your focus is steady, emotions become easier to manage. You respond with intention instead of reacting from confusion or pressure. A focused mind is calmer because it is not pulled in several directions at once. Another important part of focus is the ability to say no. Every yes requires your time, energy, and attention. If you say yes to everything, you weaken your focus. But when you protect your priorities, your mind has room to stay centered. Saying no is not a lack of generosity. It is an act of discipline. It keeps your attention aligned with your goals. Over time, focus becomes a form of mental strength. It becomes a skill you rely on when life feels chaotic. It becomes a source of confidence because you know you can direct your mind instead of being pulled by distractions. Focused people achieve more not because they work harder, but because they work with clarity. As you build your strength of focus, you will notice a shift in your life. You will finish more tasks with less stress. You will think more clearly. You will feel more present in your relationships, your work and your personal growth. Focus becomes the bridge between your intentions and your results. In the next chapter, you will explore the practice of emotional control. You will learn how to stay steady in difficult moments, and how to transform emotional energy into fuel for your growth. But for now, remember this truth. Where your focus goes, your strength grows. Train your focus, and your mind will become a far more powerful tool than you ever imagined. Chapter 4. Mastering Emotional Control. Every person experiences moments when emotions rise quickly, pressure builds, stress grows, fear appears without warning. These moments often decide how we move through life. They shape our choices, our relationships and our results. Mastering emotional control does not mean suppressing emotions. It means learning how to guide them with wisdom instead of letting them guide you by force. Emotions are signals. They tell you what matters. They reveal your values, your fears, and your needs. But when emotions become intense, the mind can lose clarity. Thoughts race. Breathing quickens. The body reacts before you have time to think. This is where emotional control becomes one of the strongest mental skills you can develop. Imagine standing in a long line at a store. You are tired. You want to go home. The line moves slowly. Someone cuts in front of you. The emotion hits instantly. Frustration, annoyance, a feeling of being disrespected. Without emotional control, you might react in ways that create more tension. But with emotional control, you gain a moment of space. You pause. You breathe. You choose your response instead of letting the emotion choose it for you. This space is the heart of emotional mastery. It is the small pause that allows logic, patience and clarity to step forward. Most people never develop this skill because they believe emotions happen to them. In truth, emotions happen inside them. And what happens inside you can be shaped with practice. Here is a story that shows how powerful this skill can be. A nurse worked in a busy emergency room. Every day she faced pressure. Patients arrived in pain. Families demanded updates. Doctors issued urgent instructions. Her emotions rose throughout the day. At times she felt overwhelmed. At times she wanted to cry. One evening, an older mentor pulled her aside and said, "You cannot control the chaos, but you can control your center." The nurse took this advice seriously. She began to practice emotional control. Before each shift she took one slow breath and set her intention. During stressful moments she paused for half a second before reacting. Over time she noticed something remarkable. The same challenges remained, but her responses changed. She no longer felt consumed by emotion. She felt steady. She felt grounded. Her presence calmed the room. She became a source of strength for others because she learned to stay centered within herself. This is emotional control. It is the ability to stay calm in storms that shake others. It is the ability to think clearly when emotions try to take over. And it is a skill anyone can learn. The first step is awareness of your emotional patterns. Every person has certain triggers. Some feel anxious when plans change. Some feel anger when they feel unheard. Some feel fear when facing uncertainty. Recognizing these patterns gives you power. You no longer feel surprised by your emotions. You expect them. You understand them. And you can prepare for them. The second step is grounding. Grounding is the practice of returning your mind to the present moment. When emotions rise, the mind often jumps into the future or the past. What if everything goes wrong? Why did this happen again? Grounding brings you back to now. A slow breath, a gentle pause, a single clear thought. This simple shift brings your emotions back into balance. The third step is regulation. Regulation means guiding emotions instead of resisting them. If you feel anxious, take a slow breath to settle your body. If you feel anger, relax your shoulders and speak with clarity. If you feel overwhelmed, break your next step into something small and manageable. Regulation turns emotional energy into productive action. The fourth step is reframing. Reframing means changing the meaning you give to a situation. Instead of saying, "This is too much," you say, "I can handle this one step at a time." Instead of saying, "This challenge is unfair," you say, "This challenge will help me grow stronger." Reframing does not deny your emotions. It gives them direction. Another example brings this to life. A young athlete froze during competitions. Before each event his emotions rose. His hands shook. His heart raced. He felt the pressure of expectations. His coach taught him a simple technique. Do not fight the nerves. Use them. The athlete learned to breathe deeply and say, "This feeling means I am ready." He reframed his fear as energy. He used the emotion instead of running from it. His performance improved, not because the emotions vanished, but because he changed his relationship with them. Mastering emotional control does not make you cold. It makes you capable. It allows you to feel without losing direction. It gives you the strength to stay composed when life becomes unpredictable. As you practice this skill, you will notice important changes. Your reactions will become slower and more intentional. Your decisions will become clearer. Your relationships will become more stable because you speak from calm instead of impulse. Your inner world will feel steady, even when your outer world feels chaotic. Emotional control is not about perfection. You will still feel fear. You will still feel anger. You will still feel stress. But you will no longer be controlled by them. You will guide them with patience and strength. In the next chapter you will explore the mindset of growth. You will learn how to shift from limitation to possibility and how to see challenges as opportunities for expansion. But for now, remember this truth. Mastering emotional control gives you the power to choose your response in every situation. And that choice is where true strength begins. Chapter 5. The Mindset of Growth. Growth begins in the mind long before it appears in your actions. It shapes how you see yourself. It shapes how you approach challenges. It shapes how you interpret setbacks and opportunities. A growth mindset is the belief that you can learn, adapt and improve with effort and patience. It is the understanding that your abilities are not fixed. They are expandable, trainable, shapeable. Many people live with a fixed mindset without knowing it. They believe their intelligence is set. They believe their talent is limited. They believe they are good at some things and bad at others, as if these qualities cannot be changed. This belief closes the door to progress. It creates fear around failure. It makes mistakes feel like proof of weakness rather than moments of learning. A growth mindset opens this door wide. It transforms every experience into fuel for development. Think of a young guitarist learning her first song. At first her fingers feel stiff. She misses the chords. Her rhythm is uneven. If she holds a fixed mindset, she thinks, "I am not talented. This is too hard." She will most likely stop trying. If she holds a growth mindset, she thinks, "I can improve with practice." She continues. Her fingers grow stronger. Her timing improves. One day she plays the song smoothly, not because she was naturally gifted, but because she believed she could grow. This belief is often the difference between success and quitting. A growth mindset does not ignore difficulty. Instead, it reframes difficulty. It sees difficulty as a teacher. It sees struggle as proof of progress. It sees setbacks as stepping stones, not dead ends. This mindset creates resilience because the goal is not perfection. The goal is improvement. One powerful aspect of a growth mindset is the willingness to be a beginner. Being a beginner is uncomfortable for many people. It exposes weaknesses. It brings uncertainty. It creates moments where you feel slow or unsure. But every expert was once a beginner. Every master took their first shaky steps. If you allow yourself to embrace the early stage of learning, you unlock a world of new skills and new levels of confidence. Here is a real example. A man in his 40s decided to learn to swim for the first time. He felt embarrassed in the shallow end of the pool. Children around him moved with ease. He struggled to stay afloat. He almost quit after the first lesson, but he reminded himself that growth takes time. He allowed himself to be new at something. Week by week he improved. His breathing became smoother. His strokes became stronger. Months later he completed his first short-distance swim without stopping. He did this not through natural skill but through patience and commitment. This is the mindset of growth in action. A growth mindset also affects how you respond to feedback. People with a fixed mindset see feedback as criticism. They feel judged or threatened by it. People with a growth mindset see feedback as information. They do not take it personally. They see it as guidance. They use it to adjust and improve. When you stop fearing feedback, you unlock faster learning and deeper self-awareness. Another key part of a growth mindset is curiosity. Curiosity invites exploration. It encourages you to ask questions. It opens your mind to new skills, new strategies, and new perspectives. Curiosity replaces fear with interest. It allows you to approach challenges with openness instead of tension. Here is another story. A young engineer joined a new company. She was surrounded by talented people with years of experience. At first she felt intimidated. Her fixed mindset whispered, "You do not belong here." But she chose to shift her thinking. She asked questions. She observed how others solved problems. She took notes. She practiced. Within a year she became one of the most valuable members of the team. Her growth came from curiosity and willingness to learn, not from starting with all the answers. To develop a growth mindset in your own life, start with small shifts. Instead of saying, "I cannot do this," say, "I am learning how to do this." Instead of saying, "This is too hard," say, "This will take time, and I can improve." Instead of avoiding challenges, approach them with patience. Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. These small changes reshape your inner world. They build confidence and create momentum toward your goals. A growth mindset also requires consistency. Growth is not a single decision. It is a daily practice. There will be moments when progress feels slow. There will be days when you move forward by only one small step. But every small step matters. Every moment of effort builds strength. Every attempt shapes your future skills. Growth is a long game, and each day adds one more layer to your potential. When you adopt the mindset of growth, you begin to see life differently. You stop fearing failure, because you know it is part of the process. You stop doubting yourself because you trust your ability to improve. You stop blaming circumstances because you focus on what you can develop within yourself. This mindset brings freedom. It brings purpose. It creates a sense of forward motion that carries you through challenges. In the next chapter you will explore the power of discipline and daily habits. You will learn how consistent actions shape your identity and build long-term strength. But before moving forward, remember this: your potential is not fixed. Your abilities are not final. With a growth mindset you give yourself permission to evolve, to learn, and to rise to new levels of strength. And that simple belief can change the entire direction of your life. Chapter 6. Discipline and daily habits. Discipline is the bridge between intention and achievement. It is the quiet force that turns good ideas into real progress. It does not shout. It does not demand attention. Yet it shapes your future more than talent, chance, or motivation ever can. Many people think discipline is a hard, rigid quality, something that requires willpower every hour of the day. But true discipline is simpler than that. It is built on small, consistent actions. It grows through habits that support your goals, not dramatic bursts of effort that fade after a few days. Your mind becomes stronger when your days have structure, not a strict schedule that leaves no room to breathe, but a steady rhythm that keeps you aligned with what matters. This rhythm is created through habits. Habits are the invisible patterns that shape your life. Some lift you forward, some pull you backward. The key is learning which habits deserve your time and which ones need to be replaced. Here is a story that shows how powerful small habits can be. A writer wanted to finish his first book. He waited for inspiration. He waited for long blocks of free time. He waited for the perfect moment. But the perfect moment never came. One day he made a simple decision. He committed to writing 1 page every morning. Not a chapter. Not 5 pages. Just one. At first the progress felt slow. But 1 page became 2. 2 became 3. Within a year he completed the entire book. The breakthrough did not come from sudden inspiration. It came from discipline built through a daily habit. Discipline is not about pushing yourself harder. It is about showing up even when you do not feel ready. When you create small habits that repeat daily, they become part of your identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who follows through, someone who takes action, someone who moves steadily toward their goals. One of the strongest ways to build discipline is to focus on the first step, a small, simple action that takes away the pressure of perfection. If you want to exercise, start with 5 minutes. If you want to meditate, start with 1 quiet moment. If you want to learn a new skill, start with a short daily practice. These small steps create momentum. Momentum reduces resistance, and resistance is the biggest barrier between you and a disciplined life. Another story illustrates this well. A woman wanted to improve her health. She tried strict diets. She attempted intense workout routines. She pushed herself hard for a week and then stopped. She felt frustrated and defeated. Her trainer suggested a different approach. "Let us focus on habits, not extremes," he said. She began with a short walk every morning. She added a glass of water before each meal. She introduced 1 healthy snack each day. Slowly her energy improved. Her confidence grew. And after a few months, she created a lifestyle she could maintain. Discipline became easier because her habits worked with her, not against her. A disciplined life also requires removing unnecessary decisions. Every day you make hundreds of small choices. What to do first, what to avoid, what to focus on. These decisions drain mental energy. When you create habits, you reduce decision fatigue. You free your mind to focus on the tasks that truly matter. For example, setting out your clothes the night before saves time and energy in the morning. Preparing a simple daily schedule helps you stay centered. Beginning your day with the same powerful habit, such as a short reflection or a focused breath, sets the tone for the entire day. These small routines build a sense of stability that strengthens your discipline. But discipline is not only about doing things. It is also about stopping the things that slow you down. This means recognizing habits that weaken your progress. Habits like checking your phone before you start important work. Habits like eating to cope with stress. Habits like putting things off until you feel ready. Replacing harmful habits is not about self-punishment. It is about giving yourself the structure you need to grow. Another important part of discipline is accountability. When you measure your progress, even in simple ways, you stay engaged with your goals. A checklist, a daily journal, a small note on your calendar. These tools remind you that every day counts. They help you stay honest with yourself without pressure or guilt. Discipline is also strengthened through your environment. Your surroundings influence your habits more than you realize. A clean workspace encourages focus. A cluttered one encourages distraction. Supportive people reinforce your goals. Negative people pull you away from them. Even the way you organize your home or your digital space can make disciplined actions easier or harder. Adjusting your environment is an overlooked but powerful way to support your daily habits. Most importantly, Discipline is built through compassion, not perfection. You will miss days. You will get tired. You will experience setbacks. This does not mean you are weak. It means you are human. What matters is your ability to return to your habits with patience instead of judgment. A disciplined mind is not one that never falls. It is one that always stands up again. As your daily habits grow stronger, you will feel a shift. You will notice that tasks feel lighter. You will feel more control over your day. You will build confidence through consistency. You will become someone who trusts their own commitment. In the next chapter, you will explore resilience. You will learn how to rise from challenges, adapt in difficult moments, and turn obstacles into opportunities for strength. But for now, remember this simple truth. Discipline is not built in a day. It is built through the choices you make each morning, each evening, and each moment in between. Your habits shape your future. Shape them with intention, and they will help you become the person you are meant to be. Chapter 7. The Art of Resilience. Life will test you. Not once, not occasionally, but many times, in ways you expect, and in ways you never see coming. Resilience is the ability to rise again when life knocks you down. It is the quiet strength that helps you stand in moments when others break. It is the ability to continue forward when the path becomes steep, uncertain, or painful. Resilience is not something you are born with. It is something you build through experience. Every challenge you face becomes another layer of strength. Every setback becomes another lesson. Every difficulty becomes another chance to grow. With each trial, your mind becomes more capable of handling the next one. To understand resilience, imagine a tree standing in a powerful storm. The wind bends the branches. The rain pushes against it. The ground shakes. But the tree does not break. Why? Because its roots are deep. Because its trunk is flexible. Resilience works the same way. You must be rooted in your values and flexible in your responses. This combination keeps you steady during life's storms. Here is a story that shows resilience in action. A young entrepreneur launched her first business with excitement and confidence. She invested her savings. She worked long hours. She believed her idea would succeed. But things did not go as planned. Customers were few. Costs were high. Doubts began to grow in her mind. After months of struggle, she felt discouraged. She considered giving up. Then she met a mentor who said, "Failure is not the end. It is feedback. Use it." Those words changed her perspective. Instead of viewing the setback as a sign to stop, she saw it as information. She reviewed what went wrong. She made adjustments. She relaunched with a better strategy. The second time, her business succeeded. Her breakthrough came not from avoiding failure, but from rising after it. Resilience depends on how you interpret difficult moments. Two people can face the same challenge and react completely differently. One person feels defeated. The other sees an opportunity to grow. The event is the same. The mindset is different. Resilient people choose meaning that empowers them, rather than meaning that limits them. One important part of resilience is your ability to recover. Recovery does not mean ignoring pain. It means giving yourself the space to heal, and then moving forward with intention. After a setback, ask yourself simple questions. What can I learn from this? What is my next step? What strengths did this challenge reveal? These questions shift your focus from defeat to development. Another story highlights the power of recovery. A long-distance runner trained for years to complete a major race. On the day of the event, he injured his leg halfway through. The pain forced him to stop. He felt devastated. Months of preparation seemed wasted. But his coach said, "You have two choices. Stay stuck in the moment you fell, or grow from it." The runner chose to grow. He used the recovery period to strengthen his body in new ways. He improved his form. He improved his breathing. He returned stronger than before, and completed the race the following year. His success came not from avoiding setbacks, but from rising after them. Resilience also requires perspective. When you face hardship, the mind often exaggerates the problem. Small issues feel bigger than they are. Temporary setbacks feel permanent. During these moments, remind yourself that difficulty is part of every life. Challenges are temporary. They pass, and you grow through them. Another important part of resilience is adaptability. Life does not always go as planned. Sometimes the path you expected closes. Sometimes the opportunity you hoped for disappears. Sometimes the world changes faster than you do. Adaptability allows you to shift without losing your purpose. It helps you find new paths when the old ones become blocked. It keeps you flexible, creative, and open to new possibilities. Resilience also depends on the people you surround yourself with. Supportive people remind you of your strength when you forget it. They offer perspective when your mind becomes clouded. They help you bounce back by listening, guiding, or simply standing beside you. You do not build resilience alone. You build it through connection. At the same time, resilience requires inner strength. There will be moments when you must rely on yourself. Moments when you must encourage yourself. Moments when you must stand firm, even when you feel scared or uncertain. These moments reveal what you are truly capable of. To build resilience in your daily life, start small. Face small challenges with intention. Take one more step when you feel like stopping. Stay patient during delays. Correct mistakes without judging yourself. These small acts develop mental muscle. Over time, this muscle becomes strong enough to handle major challenges. Another effective habit is to celebrate progress, not just victories. Every time you rise from a setback, you build resilience. Every time you solve a problem, you reinforce confidence. Every time you keep going, despite difficulty, you strengthen your inner foundation. Acknowledging these moments fuels motivation and keeps you moving forward. Resilience does not remove hardship from life. It prepares you to face hardship with strength. It gives you the ability to remain calm in chaos, hopeful in uncertainty, and determined in struggle. It turns obstacles into opportunities, and setbacks into stepping stones. In the next chapter, you will explore the power of confidence under pressure. You will learn how to remain steady when stakes are high, and how to perform at your best when it matters most. But for now, remember this truth. Resilience is not about avoiding the fall. It is about rising each time with greater wisdom, greater strength, and greater belief in who you are becoming. Chapter 8. Confidence under pressure. Pressure reveals who you are when the world demands your very best. It tests your calm. It tests your preparation. It tests the strength of your beliefs. Confidence under pressure is not loud or dramatic. It is steady, quiet, grounded. It is the inner knowing that no matter what you face, you can meet the moment with clarity and strength. In everyday life, pressure shows up in many forms. A difficult conversation, a tight deadline, a new responsibility, an unexpected challenge. In these moments, people often doubt themselves. Their heartbeat rises, their mind speeds up, their thoughts turn from "I can do this" to "what if I fail?" Confidence under pressure is the skill that reverses that shift. It helps you stay steady when your body wants to panic and your mind wants to run. To understand this skill, imagine a musician about to step onto a stage. She practiced for months. She knows every note. But as she waits backstage, her hands shake, her breath tightens, her mind fills with worry about making a mistake. At this moment, talent alone is not enough. She needs confidence. Not blind confidence, but earned confidence. Confidence built through preparation and mental strength. She closes her eyes, slows her breathing, and repeats a simple phrase, "I am ready." When she walks on stage, her nerves settle, her mind becomes clear, her training rises to the surface. She performs with focus and grace. Her confidence did not remove the pressure. It helped her stand strong within it. Confidence under pressure comes from three core sources: preparation, presence, and belief. Preparation builds trust in your abilities. When you practice consistently, you reduce uncertainty. Your mind knows you have done the work. Think of an athlete who trains every day. When the big event arrives, he does not rely on hope. He relies on preparation. His confidence grows from knowing he has strengthened his body and his mind. Preparation removes guesswork and replaces it with readiness. The second core source is presence. Presence means staying in the moment instead of jumping into fear or future outcomes. Under pressure, the mind often wants to imagine everything that could go wrong. This creates tension. It makes you lose focus. Presence brings you back to the action in front of you. Just one conversation, one breath, one decision, one step. When you bring your attention back to the present moment, you regain control. The third core source is belief. Belief is the quiet conviction that you can handle the situation. It is built through small successes, through moments when you push through discomfort, through times when you keep going even when doubt whispers in your ear. Belief does not promise that everything will be perfect. It promises that you are strong enough to respond to whatever happens. Here is a simple story that brings all of this to life. A young teacher was assigned to lead a large classroom for the first time. She felt nervous. She feared losing control of the room. She wondered if she was ready. But she prepared her lessons carefully. She practiced her delivery. She visualized herself leading with confidence. When the day came, she stood in front of her students and took a slow breath. She reminded herself, "I am prepared. I can guide this room." The class went better than she expected. Her confidence grew with each question she answered. Each moment of calm reinforced her belief. This experience showed her that pressure does not break you when you are prepared and present. Confidence under pressure also requires emotional regulation. When your emotions surge, your thoughts can become cloudy. Your reactions become quicker than your intentions. But when you manage your emotions, you give yourself room to respond with strength. A calm mind sees options. A panicked mind sees walls. Another important element is your inner dialogue. The voice within your mind speaks loudly during moments of pressure. If it speaks fear, your confidence weakens. If it speaks strength, your confidence rises. Simple phrases like, "I can handle this," "I am ready," or "one step at a time" can shift your entire state. These phrases guide your focus back to what you can control. Here is another story. A firefighter entered a burning building to rescue a trapped family. The smoke was thick. The heat was intense. The pressure was extreme. Yet he stayed calm. After the rescue, someone asked him how he remained focused. He said, "I told myself what to do each second. One step forward, one turn left, one breath in, one breath out." He did not let pressure take over. He used presence and self-talk to maintain control. His confidence came from training, emotional steadiness, and belief in his abilities. Confidence under pressure does not remove fear. It teaches you to move with fear. It teaches you to stay grounded even when the stakes rise. It allows you to keep your mind steady while others rush or panic. To build this skill in your own life, begin with small challenges. Speak up in a meeting when your instinct is to stay silent. Start a task even when it feels intimidating. Practice breathing slowly when you feel pressure rising. These small moments train your nervous system to stay calm, and they build the confidence you need for larger challenges. Another helpful practice is visualization. Before facing a pressure-filled event, close your eyes and imagine yourself succeeding. Imagine yourself calm. Imagine yourself focused. Imagine yourself steady. Visualization primes your mind to respond with confidence before the real moment arrives. Over time, your relationship with pressure changes. You no longer fear it. You face it. You use it. You allow it to sharpen your focus instead of scatter it. Pressure becomes an opportunity to display the strength you have been building inside. In the next chapter, you will explore the power of perspective. You will learn how your interpretation of events shapes your emotions, your decisions, and your overall mental strength. But before you move forward, remember this: confidence under pressure is not about being fearless. It is about being prepared, present, and grounded in belief. When you learn to stand strong in intense moments, you unlock a level of mental strength that transforms every area of your life. Chapter 9. The Power of Perspective. Your perspective is the lens through which you see the world. It shapes how you interpret events. It influences the meaning you attach to situations, and it determines whether you feel empowered or defeated when life presents a challenge. Perspective is not about what happens. It is about how you see what happens. Change your perspective, and your entire experience changes with it. Two people can face the same situation and walk away with two different emotions. One sees a setback. The other sees a lesson. One sees a burden. The other sees an opportunity. The difference is not the event. The difference is perspective. It is the invisible filter that guides your thoughts, your emotions, and your decisions. Imagine waking up on a rainy morning. One person says, "This weather ruins my day." Another says, "This is a good day to slow down and reflect." Nothing about the rain changed. Only the meaning changed. Perspective turns ordinary moments into either frustration or peace. Here is a deeper example. A man lost his job unexpectedly. At first he felt shocked and discouraged. He worried about the future. He wondered what he would do next. But after a few days, he began to shift his perspective. He asked himself, "What if this is a chance to grow? What if this opens a new path?" He took time to reflect on what he truly wanted in his career. Within months he found a new job that matched his strengths, aligned with his values, and offered far more fulfillment than the one before. The loss felt painful at first, but through a new perspective, it became a doorway to a better chapter. Perspective did not change the event. It changed the meaning of the event. One of the greatest powers of perspective is the ability to step back. When life becomes overwhelming, your mind tends to shrink the moment into something larger than it is. A small problem feels permanent. A short setback feels like a major failure. But when you step back, you create space. You see the situation with more clarity. You see that many challenges are temporary. You see that pain often leads to progress. This space allows you to make decisions from strength instead of panic. Perspective also helps you understand other people. When you see the world only through your own experience, misunderstandings grow. You assume motives. You create stories that may not be true. But when you shift your perspective and try to see through someone else's eyes, you gain empathy. You understand that people react based on their history, fears, and beliefs. This understanding strengthens relationships and reduces unnecessary conflict. Here is a story that illustrates this. A young man felt frustrated with his colleague at work. He believed she was being difficult during team discussions. He assumed she was uninterested. One day he decided to speak with her privately. She explained that English was not her first language, and she hesitated to speak because she feared making mistakes. His entire perspective changed in that moment. What he saw as resistance was actually anxiety. With this new understanding, he began supporting her more in meetings. Their teamwork improved. The relationship strengthened. A simple shift in perspective created harmony where there was once tension. Perspective also shapes your emotional resilience. When your perspective is narrow, challenges feel heavier. When your perspective is wide, challenges feel manageable. Instead of seeing obstacles as walls, you see them as puzzles. Instead of seeing failure as proof of incompetence, you see it as progress in disguise. Perspective transforms emotional weight into emotional wisdom. Another story brings this to life. A young athlete injured her knee during training. The pain was sharp, and the recovery long. At first she felt defeated. She believed her progress had ended, but her coach encouraged her to shift her perspective. He said, "This is not the end. This is a chance to train differently." With this new view, she used the recovery time to strengthen her upper body, improve her flexibility, and study strategies she had overlooked before. When she returned to the sport, she was stronger, smarter, and more confident. The injury did not define her. Her perspective did. To strengthen your own perspective, begin with simple questions. What else could this mean? What lesson could this challenge teach me? Is this problem as big as it feels right now? Will this matter in a month? In a year? In 5 years? Questions like these help widen your view. They break emotional tension. They reveal possibilities you could not see before. Perspective is also influenced by gratitude. When you focus on what is missing, you feel dissatisfied. When you focus on what is present, you feel grounded. Gratitude does not ignore difficulty. It balances it. It reminds you that even in hard moments there is something good to hold on to. A supportive friend, a small victory, a lesson learned, a new beginning. Gratitude shifts the emotional tone of your thoughts, making challenges feel more manageable. Another powerful tool is reframing. Reframing means taking a negative thought and guiding it toward a constructive meaning. Instead of saying, "This situation is unfair," you reframe it as, "This situation will teach me something valuable." Instead of saying, "I failed," you reframe it as, "I learned what does not work." Reframing does not erase reality. It reshapes how you meet reality. As your perspective grows, you become more flexible and more emotionally balanced. You stop reacting to small problems as if they are disasters. You stop allowing temporary moments to define your long-term mindset. You begin to see the world with more clarity, more understanding, and more personal power. In the next chapter you will explore how perspective connects with high-level performance and how the mental edge shapes competitive success in everyday life. But before you move forward, remember this: your perspective is your power. It is the filter that shapes your thoughts, your emotions, and your future. When you master your perspective, you master the meaning of your life's experiences. And that mastery becomes one of the greatest strengths you will ever develop. Chapter 10. The Mental Edge in Competition. Competition exists everywhere in life. It shows up in sports. It shows up at work. It shows up in personal goals and daily challenges. Whenever you face a test of skill, speed, intelligence, or performance, you step into a competitive arena. In these moments, the difference between winning and falling short often has little to do with talent. It has everything to do with your mental edge. The mental edge is the ability to stay sharp when the pressure rises. It is the strength to make clear decisions when others hesitate. It is the confidence to trust your preparation even when the outcome is uncertain. A strong mental game allows you to perform at your best when it matters most. To understand the power of the mental edge, imagine two athletes with equal talent. They train the same number of hours. They learn the same techniques. They even have similar physical ability. But when the competition begins, one rises and the other fades. Why? Because one has control of their mind. The other does not. Skill may get you into the arena, but mindset determines how far you go. Here is a story that shows this clearly. A young swimmer qualified for a national competition. She trained harder than ever before. She perfected her technique. But on the day of the event, everything felt different. The crowd was loud. The stakes were higher. The pressure pressed on her shoulders. Her coach noticed her tension and said, "At this level, everyone can swim, but not everyone can think." That one sentence changed her entire approach. She focused on her breathing. She visualized her strokes. She reminded herself that pressure was not the enemy. It was a signal that she was in the right place. When the race began, she swam with a calm, sharp mind. Her performance improved not because of physical strength, but because she claimed her mental edge. The mental edge is rooted in three core skills: clarity, composure, and commitment. Clarity is the ability to simplify your thoughts in moments of stress. Competitive environments create noise. People watch. Time moves quickly. Expectations rise. Without clarity, your mind becomes scattered. You think about the outcome instead of the action. You think about what others think instead of what you must do. Clarity pulls you back to your mission. It sharpens your attention. It reminds you of the steps you need to take right now. The second skill is composure. Composure is emotional stability during intense moments. Without composure, fear takes over. You rush. You overreact. You lose control of your timing and energy. But with composure you stay grounded. Your heart rate steadies. Your thoughts slow down. You respond from strength, not panic. Composure gives your body and mind the space they need to perform with precision. The third skill is commitment. Commitment means staying locked in even when things go wrong. It means pushing through challenges instead of backing away from them. Every competitive situation includes obstacles, a mistake, a setback, a moment of doubt. Your commitment determines whether these moments break your momentum or fuel your determination. Commitment allows you to adapt quickly, reset your focus, and continue forward. Here is another story that brings these ideas together. A chef entered a cooking competition. Halfway through the event, one of his dishes burned. Other contestants panicked. But he paused for a brief moment. He reset his focus. He chose a new strategy. He worked quickly but calmly. He did not allow the mistake to define his remaining time. In the end, the judges praised his creativity and resilience. He did not win because everything went perfectly. He won because he kept his mental edge when things went wrong. Competition also tests your ability to stay present. If your mind jumps ahead to the outcome, worry takes over. If your mind stays stuck in a previous mistake, frustration takes over. Staying present allows you to respond to what is happening now, not what happened 5 minutes ago, not what might happen later, just the step in front of you. presence increases accuracy, power, and confidence. Another key part of the mental edge is self-regulation. This includes breathing, pacing, and controlling your physical state. Your body reacts strongly to pressure. Your heart beats faster. Your muscles tighten. Your energy becomes unstable. Through breathing and intentional movement, you guide your physical reactions and stabilize your mind. The mental edge also depends on how well you prepare for stress. If you only practice your skills but never prepare your mind, competition will overwhelm you. But if you practice handling discomfort, making decisions under pressure, and staying steady in unexpected moments, you become far more resilient. Pressure feels familiar instead of frightening. To build your mental edge, start by exposing yourself to small challenges. Speak up when you feel nervous. Try something new that stretches your comfort zone. Take on tasks that require focus and discipline. These moments train your mind to stay calm and capable under stress. Another helpful technique is mental rehearsal. Close your eyes and imagine yourself performing with confidence. Imagine yourself calm. Imagine yourself sharp. Imagine yourself overcoming obstacles and finishing strong. This mental practice prepares your brain for the real moment and strengthens your belief in your abilities. The mental edge is not about defeating others. It is about defeating doubt. It is about mastering the moment with clarity and poise. It is about showing up as your strongest self when the stakes are high. In the next chapter you will explore the importance of a calm mind and how inner stillness enhances your strength, clarity, and performance. But before moving on, remember this truth. When talent is equal, mindset becomes the deciding factor, and a strong mental edge turns pressure into power. Chapter 11. The Calm Mind. A calm mind is one of the greatest strengths you can develop. It is not simply the absence of noise. It is the ability to stay centered when life becomes loud. It is the skill of holding steady while others rush, panic, or lose direction. A calm mind gives you clarity. It gives you control. It allows you to make wise decisions even when the world around you feels chaotic. Many people believe calmness is something that happens on its own. A quiet room, a peaceful morning, an empty schedule. But true calmness is not built in silence. True calmness is built in the middle of life. In busy streets, in crowded rooms, in difficult conversations. A calm mind is trained, not granted. Think of a lake on a windy day. The surface shakes. The waves rise. The water looks unsettled. But deep below the water is still, unaffected, steady. A calm mind works the same way. The surface of your life may roar with activity, but the deeper part of your mind can remain stable and clear. This depth comes from intentional training. Here is a story that shows how powerful calmness can be. A doctor worked in an emergency room known for constant pressure. Patients arrived without warning. Emotions ran high. Time mattered. One day, a critical case rushed in. A family cried. Staff members ran in every direction. Amid the chaos, the doctor stood still for a moment. He took one slow breath. His face relaxed. His mind sharpened. He stepped forward with calm authority and guided the team through the crisis. Later, a young nurse asked him, "How did you stay so calm?" He replied, "I practice it every day. A calm mind makes better decisions than a rushed one." His calmness became a source of strength for everyone around him. A calm mind does not remove stress. It transforms your relationship with stress. Instead of feeling trapped by tension, you can observe it. Instead of reacting quickly, you respond wisely. Instead of losing control, you maintain balance. Calmness gives you the space to breathe, to think, and to choose. One of the foundations of a calm mind is awareness of your internal state. You cannot create calmness if you do not notice when you are drifting away from it. Pay attention to early signals. Your breath becomes shallow. Your jaw tightens. Your thoughts speed up. These signs are gentle reminders that you need to return to stillness. Awareness creates the doorway to calmness. Another essential skill is controlled breathing. Your breath guides your body, and your body guides your mind. When pressure rises, most people breathe quickly and unevenly. This increases anxiety. But when you slow your breathing, your body relaxes, your heartbeat steadies, your mind becomes clearer. Even a single slow breath can shift your entire mental state. Controlled breathing is one of the simplest and most powerful tools for a calm mind. A calm mind is also strengthened through mental organization. Chaos outside becomes chaos inside when your thoughts are unstructured. A calm mind takes one thing at a time, one task, one decision, one step, instead of juggling 10 things. Bring your attention to what matters now. Clarity creates calmness. Here is another story. A software engineer was leading a major project with a tight deadline. The team felt overwhelmed. Small problems felt big. Tension grew. The engineer gathered the team and said, "Let us focus on one issue at a time." He broke the project into small pieces. He guided everyone through each step with calm direction. The mood changed instantly. Panic turned into focus. The team finished the project successfully because one person chose calmness over chaos. A calm mind also comes from letting go of what you cannot control. Stress often increases when you try to force outcomes. You cannot control other people's reactions. You cannot control every situation. You cannot control every variable. But you can control your response. You can control your mindset. You can control your energy. Calmness grows when you release the weight of things beyond your reach. Another important part of cultivating calmness is reducing unnecessary mental noise. This noise comes from overthinking, assumptions, predictions, and imagined scenarios. When your mind wanders too far into the future, or too deep into the past, calmness slips away. Bring your thoughts back to the present. This moment, this breath, this decision. The present is where calmness lives. You can also strengthen calmness by creating small daily rituals. A quiet morning moment, a short walk, a 5-minute reflection, a habit of pausing before reacting. These rituals are simple, but they build a steady foundation for a peaceful mind. Calmness is not about being passive. It is about being powerful in a different way. A calm mind sees more. It hears more. It understands more. It makes better choices because it is not controlled by emotion. Calmness gives you an advantage in every situation, from solving problems to navigating relationships to facing challenges. As you practice, you will notice a change. Your reactions become slower and more intentional. Your emotions become easier to manage. Your decisions become clearer. You no longer rush through life. You move with purpose, with presence, with strength. In the next chapter, you will explore the mind of a leader and learn how inner calmness, clarity, and strength allow you to guide others with confidence. But before you move forward, remember this: a calm mind is not a gift. It is a skill that grows through awareness, breathing, patience, and practice. And as this skill grows, your entire life becomes more balanced, focused, and powerful. Chapter 12. The Mind of a Leader. Leadership begins in the mind long before it appears in your actions. It is not a title. It is not a position. It is a way of thinking. A leader sees differently, thinks differently, and responds differently. A leader guides others not through force but through clarity, stability, and strength. A leader's mind stays steady when others feel uncertain. A leader listens before speaking. A leader moves with intention instead of impulse. This calm, grounded mindset creates trust. People follow those who know where they are going, and who remain centered even in difficult moments. Leadership is not reserved for executives or public figures. You lead every time you influence someone's direction or lift someone's confidence. You lead at home. You lead at work. You lead when you support a friend or guide a team. Leadership is about impact, and that impact starts in your thoughts. The mind of a leader is built on 3 pillars: vision, integrity, and presence. Vision gives direction. It allows you to see beyond the moment. It helps you look past obstacles and focus on what is possible. Vision is not only about long-term goals. It is also about clarity in everyday decisions. Leaders think before acting. They ask themselves simple but powerful questions. What outcome do I want here? What is the bigger purpose? What path leads to growth? This clarity separates stable decisions from emotional reactions. Here is a story that shows the power of vision. A small team in a tech company was struggling. Projects fell behind. Motivation dropped. People worked hard but lacked direction. Their new team leader gathered everyone in a room and said, "Let us start fresh. Here is where we are going. And here is how each of you contributes to that goal." He drew a simple roadmap on the board. He assigned clear roles. He shared a purpose that excited them. The atmosphere changed instantly. People felt focused. They felt united. Within months, the team became one of the top performing groups in the company. The leader did not increase their talent. He increased their clarity through vision. The second pillar of leadership is integrity. Integrity is the ability to align your actions with your values. It is honesty. It is responsibility. It is consistency. People follow leaders they trust, and trust is built through small moments. Doing what you say you will do, telling the truth even when it is uncomfortable, admitting mistakes instead of hiding them, leading by example rather than instruction. A leader with integrity creates stability. People know what to expect. They feel safe sharing ideas. They feel comfortable taking initiative because they know the environment is fair. Integrity does not just build respect. It builds loyalty. Here is another story. A restaurant owner faced a difficult financial season. He gathered his staff and said, "We will get through this together. No layoffs. No secrets. We share the plan. And we share the responsibility." He took a smaller salary to keep his employees paid. He was transparent about the challenges. His team worked harder, supported each other, and helped the business survive. They followed him because he led with integrity. He showed commitment, not just to the business, but to the people behind it. The third pillar of leadership is presence. Presence is the ability to give your full attention to the moment and the people in it. It is the calmness that reassures others. It is the listening that makes people feel valued. It is the steady energy that brings order to chaos. A leader's presence has a powerful effect. When a leader is calm, others become calm. When a leader is focused, others feel focused. When a leader is respectful, the environment becomes respectful. Presence creates the emotional tone of every room a leader enters. Here is a simple example. A school principal walked through the hallways every morning. Instead of rushing, he greeted students by name. He asked teachers how they were doing. He listened. He noticed things others overlooked. His presence created warmth and stability. When difficult situations arose, people turned to him because they trusted the strength of his presence. He led not through authority, but through connection. The mind of a leader also includes accountability. Leaders take responsibility for outcomes. They do not blame others. They do not make excuses. They learn from mistakes, adjust their approach, and move forward with determination. This mindset encourages everyone around them to grow. Another vital element is emotional intelligence. Leaders understand their own emotions and the emotions of others. They sense tension. They sense hesitation. They sense potential. Emotional intelligence helps them communicate effectively, resolve conflicts, and inspire confidence. Leadership also requires courage. Courage to make difficult choices. Courage to stand alone when needed. Courage to move forward despite uncertainty. A leader's courage gives others permission to be brave. Finally, leadership demands service. True leaders focus on lifting others. They help people discover their strengths. They encourage growth. They create environments where others can succeed. Leadership is not about being at the top. It is about bringing others with you. To develop the mind of a leader, start with small actions. Listen more. Speak with clarity. Stay calm during challenges. Make decisions based on values. Support people when they struggle. Show appreciation when they grow. Leadership is not built in one moment. It is built through consistent, thoughtful choices. In the next chapter, you will explore how to make mental strength a continuous part of your life. You will learn how daily practice, long-term vision and personal commitment turn growth into a lasting habit. But for now, remember this. Leadership starts within. When you lead your mind with clarity, integrity and presence, you gain the power to lead others with confidence and purpose. Chapter 13. Training for life. Mental strength is not something you achieve once and keep forever. It is something you train every day. Just like the body grows stronger through repeated movement, the mind grows stronger through consistent practice. Training for life means you treat every day as an opportunity to grow, refine, and strengthen the way you think. Many people believe progress happens only in big moments. A major achievement, a life-changing decision, a sudden breakthrough. But the truth is different. Real progress happens in the ordinary moments, in the choices you make when no one is watching, in the thoughts you guide when your mind wants to drift, in the actions you take on days when motivation feels low. Training for life is about understanding that every moment, big or small, shapes your mental strength. Think of a blacksmith shaping steel. He does not strike the metal once and call it finished. He heats it. He shapes it. He cools it. Then he shapes it again. Each strike builds strength. Each repetition brings the tool closer to its final form. Your mind works the same way. It becomes sharper, stronger, and more resilient through consistent attention and effort. Here is a story that illustrates this idea. A young man wanted to improve his patience. He felt easily irritated. Small delays made him angry. Unexpected problems drained his energy. He wanted to change, but he believed patience required a dramatic transformation. His mentor gave him simple advice. Practice patience in small moments first. So he began with tiny challenges. He took a slower walk. He paused before reacting. He let someone go ahead of him in line. He breathed before speaking intense conversations. Over time, these small actions rewired his response to frustration. What once triggered him easily now barely moved him. He trained his mind through daily practice, not through one large decision. Training for life also means accepting that progress is not always visible. Some days you feel strong and confident. Other days you feel tired or unsure. Both days matter. On the strong days you build momentum. On the weak days you build endurance. Growth often happens quietly deep below the surface. You may not notice it, but every bit of effort creates emotional and mental depth. Another essential part of lifelong training is reflection. Reflection allows you to learn from your experiences instead of moving past them without insight. Ask yourself simple questions at the end of each day. What did I handle well? What challenged me? What can I improve tomorrow? These questions are powerful. They help you recognize patterns. They help you adjust your habits. They help you make steady progress with intention instead of wandering through life without direction. Training for life also requires adaptability. Life will not always go according to plan. Plans shift. People change. Circumstances evolve. A strong mind adapts instead of resisting. Adaptability is not about giving up control. It is about using your energy wisely. It is about adjusting without losing your center. When you stay flexible, you stay capable. Another story shows this clearly. A woman trained for a marathon. She followed a strict schedule. She prepared every detail. But a month before the race, she sprained her ankle. At first she felt frustrated. She feared she had lost everything she worked for. Her coach reminded her, training your mind is as important as training your legs. Adapt. Do what you can. She shifted her routine. She focused on upper body strength. She practiced breathing and visualization. She returned with a stronger mindset than she had before the injury. When she finally ran the marathon, her physical preparation helped her finish, but her mental training carried her through the toughest miles. Adaptability strengthened her far more than a perfect plan ever could. Training for life also means managing your environment. Your surroundings shape your habits. If you fill your space with distractions, you weaken your focus. If you surround yourself with negativity, your energy drops. If you stay around people who settle for less, you will feel pulled in the same direction. Growth becomes easier when your environment supports your goals. Choose spaces and people that encourage strength, discipline, and honesty. Another key part of lifelong training is self-compassion. You will not be perfect. You will make mistakes. You will fall into old patterns. You will have days when progress feels far away. Self-compassion prevents you from giving up. It allows you to guide yourself with patience instead of judgment. A strong mind is not harsh. It is disciplined, but it is also understanding. Compassion helps you return to your training instead of abandoning it. Consistency is the heart of training for life. Small daily actions shape who you become far more than rare intense efforts. 5 minutes of focus. A single moment of patience. One intentional breath. These small moments build mental strength in lasting ways. The mind changes through repetition, not extremes. As you commit to lifelong training, you will notice powerful shifts. You will respond with greater composure. You will adapt more easily to change. You will think more clearly under pressure. You will feel more aligned with your values and purpose. Your growth will become a steady path instead of a stop-and-start journey. Training for life is not about constant effort. It is about consistent intention. It is about becoming just a little better each day. It is about showing up for yourself with discipline, awareness, and belief. In the final section of this book, you will tie everything together. You will explore how mental strength becomes a lifelong companion, a steady force that supports you in every situation, every challenge, and every goal you pursue. But for now, remember this. Life is your training ground. Every moment shapes you. Every choice strengthens you. And every step you take with intention moves you closer to the person you are meant to become. Conclusion. The victory within. Every chapter in this book has been a step on a larger journey. A journey that began with awareness. A journey that led you through discipline, resilience, confidence, calmness, leadership, and lifelong training. A journey designed to show you that mental strength is not something distant or unreachable. It is something you build within yourself, day by day, thought by thought, action by action. The greatest victory in life is not over other people. It is not measured by trophies, titles, or applause. The greatest victory is the one you achieve within your own mind. The victory over fear, the victory over doubt, the victory over old habits that once held you back, the victory of choosing growth, clarity and purpose. Even when life presents challenges, you now understand the power of awareness. You know how to observe your thoughts and emotions without losing control. You have learned how the voice within can lift you or limit you, and how to shape that voice with intention. You have explored the strength of focus and the importance of directing your attention toward what matters. You have learned to stay calm in chaos, resilient under pressure, and confident in the moments that test you the most. You have also discovered the value of perspective. You have seen how your interpretation of events can shift your entire emotional world. You have learned the importance of presence, emotional regulation, and thoughtful decision-making. And you have seen how a calm mind creates stability and clarity in every situation. Finally, you have learned that mental strength is not a destination. It is a lifestyle. It is a way of moving through the world with intention, awareness, and discipline. It is a commitment to training your mind not for a single season, but for your entire life. To close this journey, imagine yourself standing at the edge of a new beginning, not a beginning created by external change, but a beginning created by internal readiness. You now carry tools that many people never take the time to build. You have clarity, you have focus, you have patience, you have resilience, you have belief in your ability to grow. These qualities form the foundation of a powerful inner life. Here is a story that reflects the essence of this final message. A mountain climber spent years preparing for a difficult ascent. He trained his body. He learned the terrain. He studied the weather. But the real challenge came not from the mountain but from his own mind. There were moments when he wanted to turn back. Moments when the path felt too steep. Moments when fatigue pushed him toward doubt. But each time he reminded himself of one truth. The only way to the top is through the steps I take right now. He climbed not because he was fearless but because he chose courage over fear, clarity over confusion and patience over panic. When he reached the peak, the view was breathtaking. But the real victory was not the mountain beneath him. The real victory was the strength he found within himself. Your life will have its own mountains. Some will be external. Many will be internal. The challenges you face will vary. But your ability to rise will come from the same place. Your mind. Your mental strength will determine how you interpret challenges, how you respond to pressure, and how you shape your future. As you move forward, remember these truths. You are stronger than your doubts. You are more capable than your fears suggest. You are more adaptable than you realize. And you have more inner power than you've ever fully used. Mental strength does not require perfection. It requires presence. It requires intention. It requires a willingness to train your thoughts just as you train your actions. Each day gives you a chance to grow stronger. Each moment gives you a chance to choose clarity over confusion and progress over hesitation. This book is not the end of your journey. It is the foundation. The true transformation will happen through the choices you make from this moment forward, through the habits you build, through the mindset you strengthen, through the calmness you create, through the courage you practice, and through the commitment you carry into each new challenge. The victory you seek is not outside. It is not in what you achieve or what others notice. The victory you seek is within you. It is quiet. It is steady. It is powerful. and it grows every time you choose strength over surrender and purpose over fear. So step into your life with confidence. Move forward with clarity. Train your mind with consistency, because the strongest version of you is not something you find. It is something you build. And you have already begun that process. Your journey continues now, and the victory within is yours to claim every single day.